Hello, welcome to True Salt, a podcast where faith meets real life. And you're with me, Worship. And of course, I'm not alone, I'm with my friend, Arnold. Welcome, Arnold.
Thank you.
So, in this episode, Arnold, we'll look more about Christmas. When we think about Christmas, there are certain colors that comes to mind. We talk about red,
Yeah,
white,
sure.
and green. So, why do you think these colors play such a powerful role?
I think it's a good question because some of these things we just overlook them, but I think they're very important. We have to focus on and we have to talk about it. So I think deeply they have a significant meaning to say because when we are looking about green, it's something that represents maybe creation or something that is alive. Because when a plant is green, we say this plant is alive. In the same way, we can say about I think red symbolizes blood, and most importantly, I think it symbolizes love, because we connect with the images of love. They are always in red color, so I think it symbolizes love. So when we are talking about white, I think it talks more about light at the same time purity.
Okay.
Yeah, because white is clean and it's pure.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why it's always connected to Christmas. So when we come to Christmas, it's something that we can say, wow, these colors, they pray a great Lord. Thank you.
All right. So can we focus on the red part now?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it love, sacrifice, or something else?
As I said, I just made a point of love. And when we are talking about sacrifice, we should agree that love is a sacrifice. When you say you love something, you have to sacrifice. So these things, I think they go hand in hand. And when we see Christmas is surrounded by the life of Jesus. So according to the Christians, because Christmas is a term that comes from Christ's Mass. So we're talking about Jesus. And the life of Jesus is full of sacrifices because Christ came as a sacrifice. So he sacrificed himself, he shed blood. That's why we're talking about the red. So the red color symbolizes the love of God, the love of Christ, which was demonstrated by sacrifice. And the sacrifice was himself. He sacrificed himself. So when we are talking God, they say, okay, God sacrificed his son. So it talks more about sacrifice. So it's more of sacrifice for sure.
Oh, okay, thank you. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So why do you think the image white? Because they focus on they'll be like light, peace. Can we talk about the color white now?
Yeah. White is, of course, I love white. That's my favorite
Yeah,
color.
you taught me.
Exactly. So white, as you have just said, it symbolizes peace. It symbolizes maybe calmness. At the same time, we can say it symbolizes light and also purity. The life of Jesus, when Jesus came, because we're trying to connect this with Christmas, we often see these colors, white colors in Christmas. So in other cultures, for instance, in the Western cultures like America, you see they put lights during the month of December because they are celebrating the life of Jesus. So because they say Jesus came with a light to the world. So he came as the sacrifice, signifying red, at the same time as the light of the world. So Jesus was like, he brought the light in the world, which was full of darkness. So it symbolizes light and also purity, because people were living in sin and they had no hope for the future. At the same time, they had no salvation. They were full of darkness. So Christ came with a light to the world. So that's why even the songs of Christmas, you hear songs like light, shine. Yeah, so it symbolizes that. That's why they put white, I think.
All right, thank you so much. I've learned.
Sure.
So, what do you think of green? Especially when you talk about the trees. Does it have any strong meaning?
Yes, for sure. I think so, because when we are looking about green, it can mean a lot of things. So, but most importantly, I think it symbolizes life and hope. So green, it's a sign of life. When the plants are green, it's always an indication that something live is here. So these things are live. So when you are thinking about Christmas, I think it always brings us back to the life of Jesus, the life that Christ brought, because people were they say people were dead before Christ. That's what the Christians believe. So when Christ came, he came with life. So that's why green representing life, it means the life, but the life of Jesus. At the same time, it's a sign of hope, because when everything dies and then you see some greens, you would say, oh, there is hope. Yeah, there is hope. These greens. Yeah, so that's what I can say for the greens. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
So, do we need to know the background, as in the history of Christmas? Are you going to share?
Uh, I think it's very important to know the background of Christmas or of these colors, but at the same time, I don't think it's
Because I wanted to know like the meaning behind the symbols.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important. As you know, when you are listening to a music, you just enjoy the music, even though you don't understand
Yes, the lyrics.
the not as such the lyrics, but the background.
Background. Oh,
Because
yes.
behind every song or music, there is a story behind. So, but when you know the story, it adds value to the song. So when you know that this song is come up because of this story, it really adds value. So in the same way, I think when we are talking about Christmas, I think it's very important to understand the background and how these colors came into being. Would be like why they didn't choose blue, why they didn't choose yellow, why they didn't choose other colors than mostly they choose red, they choose white, and they choose green. So we can say, most importantly, before the coming of Christianity, there were people who were celebrating, especially in Europe. So, in the other Western cultures, they were celebrating because Christianity was emerged from there. So, these people they had their own celebrations. For instance, in the Western Europe, they were celebrating winter. So, during winter season, whenever they see green, it was a symbol of life. So, they had those. Green branches of trees, and it was giving them hope to say, oh, I think there is a hope, there is still life. It was during winter when the snows are everywhere. So even the red, we'll see that there were berries that were producing red. So those colors were symbolizing something that was used for decoration, and it was making the place to be beautiful. In the same way, in those places it snows, so there are snows everywhere. So those snows, they are white, they could mean calmness. So when they come together, they were bringing something beautiful. So that's why when the Christians thought about it, they just adopted it and to infuse, because they meant something else deep. So that's why everywhere when we see these colors, we have to think deep about this. Thank you.
Well, I think you might know a lot. Okay, so when you think about these colors, when you see these colors, what comes to your mind? As in, what do you think? What does it make you feel?
All right. So these colors, they mean quite a lot. The first thing, it always reminds me about life, because life is full of noisy, life is full of negativity, at the same time full of darkness. It's too heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
So when we are thinking about the coming of light, it symbolizes that, I think, even though darkness can overshadow you, you feel like you are left out, you are in a stain, you are in the abyss, we still have light. So it's very important to think about white in terms of light. We need light everywhere in life. At the same time, when I think about the reds, it symbolizes love. I mean, all of us, we are human beings and we want love, we need love. So when we are thinking about red, it gives us a deep sense of meaning, especially for life, because life is all about giving, sacrificing for other people. It means we have to sacrifice, and the red is symbolic to that. At the same time, sometimes we lose hope. So when we lose hope, we have to think of green. Green symbolizes hope, as we have said. At the same time, it symbolizes life. So when you see green, I mean, you will always say, I think there is hope. Because sometimes you think like everything is shut down, everything is dying. But once you think about the green, you think like, oh, I think there is hope. Something is alive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, you're so nice.
Thank you.
So we just talked about the Christmas colors, right?
Sure.
So if you had to explain the message of the Christmas colors, if you put it in your own words, what can you say?
When I think about Christmas, I always think about new life, which was given in love to bring purity and holiness. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anna, for coming.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you're with me, Worship, and my friend Anand. Till next time, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Bye.